Let's try this again. Third and short, or third and one. All right, tight end to the right, four-man front, run the ball, first down. Hell yeah, good football. All right, let's take a gander. All right, you got one end over here, kind of in no man's land, and a wide technique. You have, this is like that 4-3, like, I forgot what the actual like term for it is. It's nothing I personally agree with, but I understand why people do it. You got Jason Witten in here, fullback in. Got a gap player, more like a one in this. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd say he's a one. You have a three technique, you got a five technique, and you got a either that looks like a corner playing down, safety's high, corner or safety. I don't remember. Hold on, let me see the wide angle of this again. All right, yeah, man-to-man corners. All right, man-to-man, safety's rolled down over there, man-to-man. Okay, cool. All right. It's going to be a run to the left. Let's go ahead and take a look at Sam Young. All right, my man. What the balls? All right. Now, if you're going to go ahead and step to cut off this three technique, you need to get your ass moving. You need to get your ass moving. You have to move. You're stiff as a board, and you need to fire off the damn ball. I don't care how you need to do it. All right, he's worried about this backside technique. Damn him. Get your ass moving. All right, because you're going to screw your tackle. You're going to screw your guard. Well, guard screwed you over, but still, you need to get over there. Now, if you're working backside as a tackle and you have to block a three technique and you have to somehow get like inside leverage, it is really, 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 really hard. So if you need to adjust your stance or whatever, you need to adjust your stance, but you need to be haul assing it out of your stance. All right, that is a big ask out of the tackle to block to completely try to like scoop block a three technique. That is a lot. All right, so the guard in this case did set him up to lose because all he did was step over and three technique just swam him, even though he wasn't really trying to block him anyway. So now you have a loose three technique about to walk in and make this damn play. And to an extent, he kind of did. All right. Now, Sam Young, being dedicated warrior acrobat that he is, went ahead and just tackled the three technique because, you know, if he got beat, you're going to go ahead and go down with the ship. Something about that is respectable, but that doesn't any less help your grade sheet at the end of the game. But your guard did hoe you on that one. I'm sorry, Gabe Jackson really hoed him on this one. I understand the desire to block the backside linebacker, and I completely get it. But again, you really need to understand where the play is going. It is a lot more important he block the three technique than it is you block that linebacker. Get the linebacker, yes. Block the damn three technique. Three technique is a lot more important. B-gap defender is a lot more important. Period. And even when he went up to the linebacker, still had a piece of him. I mean, it was kind of a non-issue at that point. So, whatever, dude. You hold the tackle. Rodney Hudson, center. All right. First step. Doesn't gain ground, but does he does get it leverage on the one technique. Ends up in. I would like him to be a little bit lower, but you know I like his hand inside. But you know, for all intents and purposes, decent block. You know, got yards on the play. Old man Richie. Ooh, let's take a look at that. Let's see what that old foot does. All right. Okay. That's not okay. Sorry. So here's the deal. He stepped with this foot. Now, what he was probably trying to do was step straight inside with this foot, throw his shoulder right here on his hip or his shoulder or wherever in this general area to set his center up to take over this block so he could work to the linebacker. Hey, more power to you, man. I respect that. Like that, he's doing here what Gabe Jackson should have done here. All right. And had he have really stepped, sure, take that false step with your outside foot, but really like dig this one in and step straight and not get too greedy, but like really step controlled. Short step just beyond his first foot. Get your second step down quick, third step, and like really just drive this one because if on any double team and anybody who really does double teams, they'll tell you that it is so much more important on a double team to get movement that you're just better off getting movement more so than you are trying to um, trying to just gain ground. Like, and I'm not hating on I'm not hating on the theory of what he's trying to do, but what he ends up doing is that he loses his base right here, and that's not good. Now, it's good. It's a good enough move to allow his center to come across the face, but it's still like not good football because him not staying square and then getting knocked off his base, he does kind of get knocked in the hole. And you're talking about professional football where inches and fractions of seconds matter. And if you can get on Tahir Whitehead coming downhill, middle linebacker, 4-3 defense, if you can do that, like great. That's awesome. But if you can really move this dude out the hole, like you can push him more or less in his lap and put him in a position where he's like having to react and put him in a position to where he can just go and just decide, right? And it doesn't end up and he still ends up leaving like he ends up because Rodney Hudson took over the block, which worked out great, but he came in entirely too high, head on like the wrong side. His head really needs to be more in the middle. Hands need to be inside, like just a bad angle and everything. Fullback led up through the gap. Um, Fullback actually had a decent block, but could have, I shouldn't say that. Head's too high, and just doing too much. All right. So, and then he ends up getting shucked by Tahir Whitehead. And even though like Tahir Whitehead's pulling him down, pulling him back, like, and even though dude's not really making the play, like you want to hold that block a bit longer. Now, the person who kind of the play, it's two people who play. Because remember when I said earlier about backside blocks being really critical. Um, these backside blocks are really really important. His lack of technique is if he honestly would have gotten his head down and pushed him across, even if this dude like beat Incognito, like it had just been a massive pile over here with a cutback lane over here, and the tackle who would have been able to cut off the backside three had he been set up the right way, you had a good running lane back here. That's what should have happened. Yet here we are, backside three techniques making the play, backside linebackers in on the play, and you're just it's doomed. Like you can't win like that. That's not a very good situation to be in. All right, Colton Miller, left tackle. I mean, I'm not saying it was like the greatest block I've ever seen, but it's pretty good. Steps to him, um, bending a little too much at the waist for my liking. Heads down, arms are inside, feet decent base, not enough bend at the knee. Kind of sits, but then he extends and tries to like drive him out. But you wouldn't have this problem. You wouldn't be in this fit at all if you were actually would have been down here in the first place. Still ends up driving him out because he has no base and technique. And yeah, that's cool. I guess. Not really. All right, next play. Looks like we got a tight end right, 4-3 defense, 4 linemen, 3 linebackers, corner, safety, corner. Cool. Good throw, good catch. Henry Ruggs. All right, let's see how this magic of this play worked out. Starting with the right side. So Jason Witten is going to come off, and he's actually going to run a route. Now, the only reason why I mention him is because sometimes they use him as a blocker, but he was kind of a fullback on this play and really was trying to draw This is not an actual linebacker. This is a nickel, like personnel type of dude, but that's what they do. Again, that's not unheard of in the NFL these days. Um, Sam Young, technique. He's coming from a down. So he's not down in his stance. He's got a five technique. I mean, for a five technique, he's playing loose, but he's not a nine. Like he's not that wide. So and he's kind of tilted in. So he's doing otherwise what he should do. Don't kick too much. Try to maintain inside leverage. Again, he looks stiff, bending at the waist, kind of leaning forward. Hands are down south. That's not the way you want to play it. And but it ends up working out to where he can just maintain inside leverage. So the reason why this is good, and the only reason why this is good, is because he had inside out leverage the entire time. And what he's not doing immediately, even though he is turning his shoulders, because there is a level of practicality when it comes to being a lineman. You want to be square as much as you can. Being realistic, you know where the launch point is. Launch point, if you stayed square, like if you stayed perfectly square and you try to like kick way out here, well, the launch point's like back here, dude. Like it's being square, you're kind of like not really helping yourself out if you kick sliding and you're fighting inside here. So okay, he's kind of doing what he needs to do. Maintains inside leverage. Doesn't really give up a lot of ground, so he's not getting pushed back. So he's keeping his feet clear, allowing him time to make the decision that he needs to make. And this edge rusher is just flailing and trying to like be cool. And then he decides like almost 3 years too late that he wants to spin and get on the inside rush. And my man gets turned around and you're not Trent Williams. So, because Trent Williams actually spun around and caught a dude doing that once. That was kind of impressive. So, yeah, this is not Trent Williams. So, what he did was buy enough time. And at the end of the day, like, if you had to pick what's more important, I mean, you're the front side tackle. These days, a lot of teams will put their better pass rusher on the front side rather than the back side. And that's just because of the just general inverse thought process of offenses, because before Lawrence Taylor, or since Lawrence Taylor, the conventional wisdom was, oh, the left tackle's the best blocker, so the right tackle's not. And then a lot of teams started lining up over there, and then people started putting the better tackle on the right side, and they kind of have both tackles have to be pretty competent these days. And as you can see, he's not that competent, because at the end of the day, he did get beat. Like, that is getting beat. Now, he got beat in the context of dude rushed like several yards deep, and by the time he actually was able to like start working inside and trying to make the play, it was too late. So props to Sam Young, up to at least for maintaining leverage. Everything else about it kind of sucked, but you know, you take your wins as you come. You know, just win, baby. All right, Gabe Jackson. Gabe Jackson, savvy vet. So what Gabe Jackson did, that was a nice pass. What Gabe Jackson did, in his stance, he's already kind of tilted, which personally is something I don't agree with, but you really want to be more square, because you kind of set yourself up to lose a little bit. You want to be square. All right, just a general rule. So rather than really step anywhere, what he tried to do was kind of arm bar and just take away this inside rush. What theoretically he should do if he really wanted to take away the inside that damn bad, he just stepped inside. But instead he decided to be patient and really wanted to get his hands on him and extend. So he extended. And and now he's just fighting to maintain inside leverage. You give a little bit of ground outside, you give up nothing inside. And this defensive tackle pretty much got stopped because he wasn't really getting a rush. So he's just trying to do the discount off-brand Aldi edition, Kirkland's best, worst, J.J. Watt. And yeah, you're that's not it. Like I mean, at that I mean, in his defense, like once dude right about here, the defensive lineman knew he wasn't going to get in the backfield. Like he kind of abandoned hopes of that. Like actually, probably about there is when he abandoned hope. So it's one of those. I mean, I guess you should commit to the rush, but but to maintain gap integrity, because if he didn't maintain gap integrity, I mean, that's a pretty handsome running lane, and assuming the right tackle, or assuming this defensive end didn't beat his guy, you know, any semi not re- even Tom Brady's unathletic self could, get a quick burst for a couple yards, and or just step up just enough to make a decent pass. But as we can see how this played out, it worked out for the better for the Raiders at least. All right, looking at the center. All right, he crashes down. So what it looks like is the center and left guard are working this man, like them two, to these two. All right, and that's not a bad. I mean, that's a normal pass protection thing. So it looks like the center is the one who's going to be manned up on this one technique, or borderline shaded in this case, and and the guard is going to be basically just giving up his inside hip, keeping his outside arm free in case this blitz does come. All right. So really looking at the two of them together, Rodney Hudson is trying to really fight for leverage and just try to take over the block. And this D tackle realizes very quickly that, oh yeah, can't really get through that gap. I'm not really going to get through anything at all because I'm lazy, because that's what fat people do. Now, this linebacker did step up, and rightfully so, because the running back stepped up here as well, but he was on blitz peel. So he stepped up because he saw the running back come through the hole, and that was his man. He's trying to do the smart thing, keyword trying. All right. So as far as what Richie Incognito did on this play, I mean, just football smart. Don't do too much. Rodney Hudson had a good block. I mean, could be lower, could not loop your hands, but it was a double team, and for all intents and purposes, that's about as a more ideal look for a double team in this case would be something more like this. They're close together. You're not getting through this side at all. Best case scenario, he goes out here, and even then, that's doomsday, because he's going to end up running into his own dude. It's not going to work. All right. So these two are lazy. These three are lazy. Well, actually, linemen in general are kind of lazy, and that's okay. You do what you got to do to survive at some point. He's in a stance. He's got not a tight five, but he is tilted, so effectively he's kind of a tight five. But I think the play design was designed as something more to sell the run, and it looks like it's a play action. So he is trying to sell the run. Came off the ball, came right after him, and when you sell the run the right way, like if you really do come at the defensive lineman like you're going to really run block them, especially like for pass rushing type dudes, especially if they're like really solid, because I've had a situation where their defensive lineman, we were running play action, I really had to sell it, because if they realized it was pass, I had a problem, because they were just really good rushers. They were really good at getting leverage. They were really good at their moves, and it's hard to stop them. And just general football discipline, you still want to sell the run, at least like pretend you're going to do it. And then as soon as he realized it was a pass, which is also part of the reason why he came down and tried to stop the run, I mean, there was nothing that this defensive end could do. So to go from run to pass, you have to basically like that transition is kind of awkward. I would like for him to sit down a little bit more. His shoulders are turned, but he's trying to sell the run. So again, he's doing his job. He reset his hands. He did open up the gate a bit, but not too much. Didn't give up too much ground. Kept the quarterback's feet nice and clean, and got a nice deep pass. Good completion, and that's cool. First and goal. I mean, it's just a goal line formation and skirt right in for a touchdown. All right. So up front, you still got one, two, three, four, five people just down in the gaps. You got you got three tight ends, two running backs. Like this is just pure goal line defense. Um, you really have one, two, three, four, five, six people on the line of scrimmage, and you have four people standing behind them. I mean, like the entire world can see that they are running the ball somewhere. Maybe they're play action, but it a logical guess would be a run, especially given the Raiders. So he's cheating up. He's cheating up. So just looking on the right side. Um, what the fuck? All right, Jesus Lord. All right, he steps inside, does not stay square, gets high as shit, accomplishes nothing. Thanks, dude. He steps inside to try to help. Actually, has better pad level than him, which isn't saying a lot because he's still too high, but he is. And then he stands up anyway. And goddamn, like that's God, that hurts. Hope you got knee braces, pimp, because that'll fuck your life up. Yeah, you gotta come off way lower, and the reason why is because you get pileups like this all the time. You have to come up lower. You have to drive your feet, and that's really just to save yourself. Because doing this is a great way to like get your career ended like quickly. Um, right guard, he steps inside. He knows the play is going to the left. In my opinion, he's too high. He definitely can stand to come a lot lower. Um, I mean, I guess that's the way they're. I guess that's the way he's coached. That doesn't look normal to me. My mind is first level first, and just dig. But okay, let's look at the center. Athlete of the year, Jesus Christ. Look at this dude. So he's coming all the way back to a three technique. Who's already engaged? That low key is illegal. Like he low key was like going for a cut block. Like that's damn near a chop block. And yeah, that's almost illegal, my guy. Like, goddamn, like, and it's not that it wasn't effective, but it's like to me that's just to me that's kind of silly because unless the entire front is crashing down to the right, like to me you'd be your money would be better, your time and effort would be better spent letting him just take the inside. You're working on this nose or this one and pretty much looking for anything coming through this A gap. So that to me would have made more sense. But all right, send that dude to the shadow realm and almost kill your tackle in the process because he doesn't want to get low. That's what's up. All right, left guard. Jeez Louise, my guy. What in this? What in the surreptitious fuck? All right. First of all, you're on the goal line. Let's have a real candid conversation about goal line play. As a blocker, someone whose job it is primarily to block, the goal line is a direct correlation with your paycheck. All right? Like it is a almost a 1-to-1 correlation with your paycheck. I'm talking that R square valued is like 0.85, 9.0, 9.5 in some cases. All right? Given that that's the case, at no point in time should your feet go anywhere other than forward on your first step. Second step, if it goes parallel, I'm not saying that's right. All I'm saying is I understand. But your first step, if you are not gaining ground on your first step, I don't know what the hell you're doing because clearly you're not playing on the goal line. His first step was not forward. That is a clear step back. So, Jesus Christ. And then you're going to stand up on the goal line. The fuck are you doing? That's my opinion. I don't give a damn if you did wash the guy down, and he didn't, by the way. That's the dude right there. So no, that ain't it. I'm sorry. That I can't accept that. That's bullshit. That's fucking bad. That's fucking disgusting. Like I'm like and I'm not trying to just say like I'm not trying to just come at this dude like, oh, you're just a bad football player. No, like there are certain things that you do, like goal line plays, like seriously, like a really big part of being an offensive lineman, especially when you have like a really run heavy offense. Like these are gotta have it yards, and you can't do anything but step forward and stay low. You have to be that way, and it sucks. You'll get hurt. Like you can get really fucked up on the goal line. That's why you have to play that way. This will get you killed. This is gonna get him killed. And what the hell is this? What is this? There's this. It's just it looks like a very obviously bad set of communication and just understanding of what is and what isn't. Somebody isn't doing their job. And I don't know if that's a coaching problem or a player problem, but this isn't it. All right, left tackle. First step inside. Okay. He chips linebacker. Linebacker damn near makes a play anyway. All right, let's talk about this. All right. Oh, my pixie dust. Okay, at least he did his first step. Give credit where credit is due. Good first step, man. Now we're gonna take that credit away. You don't pitter patter. This is full send. When you're down here this close to scoring, this is not like, oh, let me figure out what I want to do and who I'm going to block. This is he's committed to this gap. You are committing to this gap. So you need to commit to sending him to the back of the end zone. You have to. You have to. You can't hesitate. Like that half step, that not real, like the context in which I understand that second step not being like forward necessarily or wildly aggressive is if this dude is like first step full speed right here. That is the one context that I will say, yeah, I understand why, because he met you. But he's not meeting you. So you have to meet him. Get off the fucking ball. Like what the hell is this? Whose man's? Whose man's? And the dude ended up free, able to make the damn play. Fortunately, he didn't. But like Jesus Christ, dude, and don't sit here and be like, yeah, we scored, yeah, we did it, even though I kind of suck. Fucking bum. Now, let's go ahead and look at these tight ends too, and also fullback. You know, since everybody was pretty involved in this play. Yo, what the hell? My guy, my man's, bro. What the was that, dude? All right. So there was an honest conversation to have about tight ends and blocking. That's not their primary vocation, since tight ends do run routes and they do catch and their blocking typically tends to be more mismatches or blocking like linebackers or safeties or people they're more athletically comparable to than necessarily first level players, which I get it. I can rock with it. However, when your job, you're called upon to block a first level player, dog, you got to do it, and you got to bring the heat, and you got to do it right. And first step, sure, but look at his head. His head is inside. He's trying to make the play. What are you doing? And then you're gonna like choke the motherfucker, and you're already in a bad position, so you just keep just driving and just try to choke slam him to the ground like it's WWF. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, that's bad. That's not a good block. It doesn't matter if we scored. Like, I guess the only thing that cancels it out is the fact that we did score. But that's still a bad block. Like, just objectively a bad block. Good old Darren Waller. Damn, man, you almost fucking died. Okay. So, again, this is, again, I get it. Great catcher, like one of the top tight ends in the NFL. Here's the problem with this. You have taken away inside leverage is good. Hand looping is not good. Pad level is not good. Lack of knee bend is not good. Bending at the waist is not good. Your head is on the right side, but it's not really down where it needs to be, and you need to be sending him out. Send him. Send him. Move him. The ball is coming here. Send him. All right? Theoretically speaking, the fullback should be working up to him in the hole where pay dirt is. All right? Instead, this is just nothing but incompetence across the board. Y'all, both of these teams kind of suck on this play. What the hell? This is just dog shit. Jesus Christ. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that Carolina wasn't so damn incompetent in their unit, like, the fact that the Raiders won this game is a bit of a miracle. All right. Cause, bro, look at my man's. Watch this shit. What the fuck? Like, you're not even trying to make the play. God damn, you got Josh Jacobs thinking he's about to get his knees taken the fuck out. Good lord. And then let's look at the fullback. Okay, you're supposed to lead up for the frontside linebacker. I can rock with said logic. You should know pretty quickly. Yeah, frontside linebackers committed to B gap. Let me just go ahead and bounce this out. You didn't bounce this out. You didn't bounce. What the? Ugh.